Howdy folks. In this video we're going to be making the pattern for doing a knife sheath out of leather. So this knife I made out of a piece of old rusty bar stock using an angle grinder and a belt sander and files and a few various other tools here and there. Made the handle out of a piece of firewood that I cut a little block out with a chainsaw and then used a coping saw and got it closer, and then I filed and sanded it down. Still got more work to do to the actual knife and some finishing touches here and there. First knife ever, so it's pretty crude, but I got it to the point where it was done enough to make a sheath. It actually has a fairly sharp edge to it. So anyway, we'll get down to the pattern making for the leather knife sheath. So for starters, just got an old piece of palette sheet paper, and I've drawn a straight line there just so I kind of know, so I can keep it in about the same spot. So for starters, I'm just going to take a regular pencil, this regular pencil, and I'm just going to trace around the entire thing, handle and all. That is what we're dealing with right there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take a ruler. Doesn't have to be a square, it could be any kind of ruler, and I'm going to come out to about right here, like between quarter and half, right around in there somewhere. Doesn't have to be exact, but I think I want a little bit more than a quarter of an inch for where my stitch line is going to be. So I'm just going to come down at the bottom, make a mark right at the point, and then I'm just going to measure, and I'm going to make marks around that perimeter that are about that distance away. It doesn't have to be exact, just something to give me an idea about where I'm going to want my actual leather to end up. So like I said, just a little over a quarter inch. Just a straight quarter inch might be enough, but I'd rather have a little too much than not enough, because when you go to wet mold this thing, it can go either way and you'll be fine, but I don't want to cut my threads if I'm a little too close there. If you're a little far away, then it's no big deal. You just wet form it and shrink it down to where you want it, and you'll be fine. So now I've got marks around the perimeter there, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a line straight across the top here where my guard is. And I'm just going to take that all the way out to the end. It's not very straight, but it'll be fine for what we're doing. Now I'm just going to take my pencil and connect those marks that I made. In the past I've always just eyeballed it trying to get exact, and in all honesty I've only made 2 or 3 knife sheaths in my life, so I'm still a little new at this, but I got them down enough to where they look halfway decent. So that's what we got there. Now, I'm gonna see, I got my straight edge or straight line there, and then there's my handle. So I'm gonna about split that distance in half and just make lines going up a ways. And this I will just eyeball it. I want it a little bit inside my other marks, but not too terrible much. I'm just going to come out and try to keep parallel with that a little bit. And now just use a regular pair of scissors and cut it out. So ultimately this will fold down. I cut the flap here for the belt loop oversized because I'm not sure exactly where that's going to sit or where I want it, so I want to allow a little extra there. So that'll be the back of the knife. The front, I'm going to trace from this line all the way around and back to it. That's what I got right there. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. And you don't want this to be smaller than your other side if you can help it, but you also don't want it to be bigger, so I'm trying to cut right in the center of that line. So I can always trim some off, but I can't add more, so I won't cut it too fine to the inside, but I don't want it to be too much on the outside of that line either. Let's see what kind of fit we got here. Looks like it's just ever so slightly bigger. I'm just going to trim the very edge just a smidge. Okay, so that's lined up on both sides. So that's my basic pattern, and I will make another video on getting it cut out and however many it takes until I get it done. Thanks for watching.